Welcome to another episode of Theological Pipe. News, culture, sports, politics, and everything else from a theological perspective.
It's all summed up in love.
What should I do? Tell me.
God is good.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give me peace. Give me peace.
Put that in your theological pipe and smoke it.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Theological Pipe. I'm glad you're here as always. If you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button, the comment button, the like button. If you're listening on Apple or Google or Spotify or any of the podcast apps, click subscribe. I appreciate it. I'm going to kind of get into, I just passed a polling place just down the street, and it's very crowded for where I live. I live in Oklahoma, and I'm going to vote on election day, or I'm not going to vote. And I kind of made a joke on my Facebook page that people just got all bent out of shape about. I said, if you vote, you're part of the problem. And you can't be serious, or this is a joke, right? And then I made a post the next day. I said something to the effect of, I think I'm not going to vote, and then still complain because I can, like a boss. I get the idea of voting. We live in a great country. We're privileged to vote. It's a right. It's something everyone should take seriously. But I also am not one of these people that think that if you don't vote, you can't say anything. Of course you can. You pay taxes. You're an American citizen. You have every right to criticize the government, even if you don't vote. And when they give you choices that you don't like, don't vote. And if you want to complain, complain. And if you want to change things, change things. And again, I'm not diminishing voting. I think it's an incredible right and gift. But I also think you should be informed when you vote. Which is part of the thing that makes me laugh, is there's so many people voting right now, and I know that each person that passes, depending upon what side they're on. If they're a Republican, they're thinking, yeah, it's a Trump train, baby. And we're in Oklahoma. He's going to win this state, but they think, oh, the Trump train, all the Trump voters are out voting. It's going to be awesome. And they get all excited. And you also know that all the Biden voters that are in the state, they're driving by saying, oh, yeah, the blue wave. People are sick and tired of Donald Trump, and they're going to take over everything. And it's going to be, great. And everyone's looking so forward to Tuesday because the Trump people are so sure that they're going to win, and the polls are wrong again. And the Biden people are so sure that Biden's going to win. And it's funny to me that there's so much stock and so much hope and so much passion put into, and I'm not discounting the vote. And I'm not saying voting isn't important. Vote. I'm going to vote. Like I said, I'm going to vote on Tuesday. Never had a problem voting. Never had a problem. I usually walk in. I stand for maybe at the most 5 minutes in my polling place, and I vote. I get the idea of voting early so you can get get your vote. I think voting weeks and weeks ahead of time is silly. And we've kind of seen that play out. I said yesterday in a podcast that one of the top searches in Google after one of the debates and after the Hunter Biden information came out was, I already voted, can I change my vote? Luckily, in some places you can, but in other places you can't. And I don't want to get into the whole voting system and how, people talk about oppression. There's record number of people voting, and there's still people talking about voter suppression. It's not that hard to walk into a polling place that's set up around your town and vote. And I think you should have an ID. You show it. You cast your vote. You're done. There's definitely election fraud, and there's definitely, a bunch of junk going on. But hey, in the end, again, as a Christian, I believe it's all going to work out the way God intended anyway. But I wanted to talk just about that whole process of voting and people telling people on Facebook. I mean, Facebook says it, athletes say it, movie stars say it. A whole bunch of people are saying, get out and vote. You have to vote. You better vote. You better vote. But what they really mean is, you better vote the way I want you to vote. Because if you don't, then we really don't. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a Trump guy, do you want Biden voters voting? Of course not. And if you're a Biden voter, do you really want a huge turnout of Trump voters? No. You want nobody to show up to vote for Trump because you want your guy to win. And so I think it's just disingenuous. It's silly. It's putting way too much hope in a government that shouldn't be as big as it is anyway. But the whole point I was going to make about the vote and about what happens, no matter what happens on Tuesday, and let's pretend there's a new president, or whether Trump is reelected or Trump isn't reelected. If there's a new president elected on Tuesday, guess what stays the same? You, right? No matter who's in the White House, you are who you are. And if you're waiting for a new president to be elected so you can be all that you can be, then you really are part of the problem. What are you waiting for? Are you automatically going to switch and become a better person because Trump's not in office? The only thing that will change if Trump gets voted out is the way the media covers things. COVID will no longer be the way it's portrayed, and a lot of the other things, taxes and homelessness and riots and stuff that they try to not even cover anyway. But the only thing that will change is the way the media portrays things. You are you. I've counseled people before when it came to relationships, and the one thing that I tell them is, if you don't work on yourself, like if you're having trouble in a relationship and you're thinking of ending that relationship to go to another relationship, the thing that changes, yes, you're going to get a new person. So if you're a guy and you want to break up with one girl to go to another girl because you're having issues with this girl, and you've had issues with the girl before, and you had issues with the girl before, and you think that by changing you're going to go to a new girl and things are going to be different, the thing that stays the same is you. You bring yourself everywhere you go. And so if you think that magically a new president is going to make you a new person, no. And if you've been waiting for that, shame on you. You don't need a president to give you permission to go do what you want to do, to make the changes that you want to make in this world. You don't need permission, and nothing, regardless of, contrary to what people think, nothing's holding you back from that. Nothing is holding you back from right now going to do the things that you want to do. There's no laws that prevent you from being who you want to be. There's no government hand, at least right now, forcing you down. Now, it's getting that way, and we need to fight against that kind of stuff and fight for freedom and freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and freedom of religion, and really believe in those things the way it was intended, which is freedom. But go fight for those things now. If you think that once Trump is elected, everything is going to be great, you're kidding yourself. And if you think that once Biden is elected and Trump is gone, that everything is going to be better in this country, you really are kidding yourselves. And I think that's a sad place to be and a dangerous place to be. We need to get to the point where we understand that we have such power in this country to go change things. And so, go vote or don't vote. Whatever. Like I said, I'm going to vote. You go vote your conscience, vote who you want to vote for. But if you think that because something changes on election day, your life is going to be totally different, then like I said, you're kidding yourself. You go make your life what you need to make it right now. Don't wait on a vote. Don't wait till Tuesday. And if you have been waiting, then shame on you. That's just lazy. That's just kind of doesn't even make sense. Go out and make the change that you want to make today and tomorrow and the next day. And on election day, whatever happens, it happens. And as believers, again, it shouldn't make a difference. As a Christian who is in the office, I'm going to still go out and love people and take care of people and be nice to people and be friendly to people and forgive people and be compassionate to people. Why? Because that's what God wants me to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. And that's what you should do, regardless. So, maybe that's just something to think about, is regardless of what happens after Tuesday, you're still the same. You have the ability to change things in your world, so go change them. Be different. So maybe put that in your theological pipe and smoke it, and we'll see you next time.
Well, bye.